some more.
Yo, what's good, people? Izzy Max here, back again with another MDL match. This match is actually me versus Jizzy. You see the 6 on the screen. We're just going to jump right into it. I brought a very offensive team this week. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Of course, this is pre-recorded. Match is already done and sped up for my convenience. But here in game 1, I knew what I wanted to lead. I wanted to lead the Clefairy Primarina just because he really doesn't have anything that breaks through it. Outside of maybe the Durant. And then I decided to lead my other 2 offensive threats in the Dragapult and the Rotom, kind of getting a feel for what's going to work really, really well for game 2. Like I said, I don't really think he had an answer to my offense. So here he does lead the Indeedee and the Luxray, which I knew Indeedee had to lead off this game. So that wasn't a huge surprise. And with the Follow Me support, I'm not worried about the Luxray at all. So here, I am of course going to go for the Follow Me, but then I'm going to Dynamax the Primarina and go for the Max Moonblast into the Luxray. I was debating on whether or not to go for the Hydro Cannon, Max Hydro Cannon into the Indeedee, but I figured this would actually do more, especially if it didn't click Follow Me. So here is my Max. And ever since I started using this thing more offensively, it's been very, very big. He does protect the Indeedee, so this is actually a really, really good turn for me as he Volt Switches. And this is really important because whatever he switches in really doesn't want to take this hit as he switches in the Passimian. So the Passimian is taking now this Max Starfall, and it does get knocked down to the Focus Sash, which is very, very important. This thing cannot really do anything now. And it really can't do any damage to my Primarina. I don't think he's going to like Dynamax it. So I'm just going to go for the Icy Wind to guarantee that KO and then just get some big damage off on the Indeedee as it does Follow Me here. And the knockoff comes out. Of course not doing much, but it is knocking off my Assault Vest as the Max Geyser here goes off into the Indeedee, doing a little more than half. The Psychic Seed is actually saving it here as the Icy Wind does just knock out the Passimian, lower the speed of the Indeedee, which isn't actually important. But now out comes the Luxray again, also intimidating, so I know it's not the Zoroark. But like I said last time, it's not really doing any damage to me. So I'm not really worried about it. At this point, I kind of need that Indeedee off the field. But it's just sitting here following me, so I'm just going to try and fire off attacks into the Luxray slot. As he does here, Volt Switch again. Not sure if it's gaining him momentum because he's not really switching anything in to Intimidate. The team I brought this week doesn't really care about Intimidate, with Berserker really being the only one, as Primarina here is able to knock out the Indeedee. Now, the way it looks now, it is pretty dominant, but I will say he played his in-game very well in game 1. So the Luxray comes back out, of course, intimidating, nothing that really cares. And I am out of max turns, and he has not maxed yet. So the Durant here is going to max, but I still do have the Clefairy, which is big. So here, I believe he maxes. Yeah, he maxes the Durant, which is actually really scary because I'm in the rain. So this is actually where it kind of becomes important. So Clefairy, of course, goes for the Follow Me, and Durant reveals that it has max Lightning. This is going to come in play for game 2. So Clefairy here goes down, and I just go for a Hyper Voice, but he does have Snarl, so I am at -1, which kind of matters. So at this point, I'm not sure that a Flamethrower from my Dragapult will actually kill. So I'm kind of in a position because Rotom doesn't outspeed it, and if the Durant has Max Rockfall, Rotom just dies. So that's kind of what I have to deal with here. But this play actually reveals kind of a lot. So he goes for the Max Lightning again, killing the Primarina, which led me to believe that he actually doesn't have Rockfall, and the Overheat here is going to be able to take out the Durant. That is actually really good info going in, because now I know Rotom is safe. Butterfree kind of safe. It just let me know that Rotom can actually come in and do a lot of work. So I'm actually just going to fast forward this. We reveal that the Luxray has the Citrus Berry and Crunch. So not really any information that's needed. So here he does end up leading with the Durant Indeedee as I go Butterfree Rotom. And this is actually really, really important. So he does not know that I am Focus Sash on the Dragapult. It didn't get revealed. So in his mind, he actually thought that I was Focus Sash on the Butterfree. And it actually turned out he did have Rockfall. So this was just a really, really good play for me. So he does end up maxing his Durant as I max the Rotom. And what I expected here was actually the Rockfall into Rotom, and I would be able to Sleep Powder the Indeedee, and then I would be able to turn around and Sleep Powder the Durant. But what ended up happening as I max guard here, I finally reveal that I am Choice Scarf. So he makes a play and goes for the Max Lightning. He didn't know I was Choice Scarf, so this play actually makes a good bit of sense, because if I was Focus Sash, the Durant would have went first, set up the Electric Terrain, and I couldn't put anything to sleep. But that's not what ended up happening. So here I'm just going to go for the Max Flare into the Indeedee, set up the Sun, and I can just start clicking Overheats and Flamethrowers for the rest of the game. He really can't do anything about it. He didn't bring a Zoomeril, which is what I was kind of worried about, which is why Rotom came. But the Flamethrower here is able to knock out the Durant, as the Indeedee is still asleep. And the Max Flare here does a decent chunk, not quite 50%, but now we are in Sun, so it will kill the next turn. And now he brings out the Luxray, and I'm not really worried about the Indeedee. There's no more terrain. The worst it can do is follow me, so I'm going to just double Fire Move into the Luxray slot, because I know both Mons are actually faster. And the Mon in the back, I think, is my Clefairy, so all my offense is on the field right now. So Flamethrower comes out, knocks it down to Citrus Berry range. We get the burn. It's not going to end up mattering, as the Max Flare from the Rotom ends up KOing. And all he has left, I believe, is the Zoroark. Yep, so out comes the Zoroark, and at this point, I know I win. This is going to be a weird play, so I forgot the Passimian was actually Focus Sashed. As you see, I clicked Thunderbolt, but I actually go for a Hyper Voice to break the sash on the Zoroark, even though it's on the Passimian. But I just Protect here. He Dark Pulses. Indeedee actually wakes up this turn and goes for the Expanding Force. And then he ends up quitting. So his son woke up and he had to go do that fatherly duties. But there was no way for him to win that. If it was Scarf Zoroark, yeah, it would have been faster. But it would have knocked me down to Focus Sash, and then I would have killed it. And then Rotom kind of cleaned up the rest of the game. So I ended up winning this game 5-0. And my season is definitely turning around. I'm pretty much a lock for playoffs, I believe. 3 matches that I have left are going to be really tough. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.